but Fimfiniman to Mahana Central Region, for you fetch him, Mankesim, or Ben Blue Hills Restaurant, Antiqua. One year Pacific Filling Station in a Winnizi, in Fini War and Cran Quantum Ponodo. For a high sense, 0302 55 0000. 0302 55 0000. High sense was the everyday prices for everyday people. Kivo hot pepper, moko show. Aha. She said the mokono. Messi asankum. Mokwa yedi ye caterers ni na mokwa wodi ediban ye kivo hot pepper. Inte ba na ya je menu no. Wonyama na de be ediban ya agya hwe. Ogo agya hwe se kivo hot pepper ni ma na we twa wodinim. Aha. Into kivo hot pepper eno yedi ediban no. For another call supermarket na kade a kivo hot pepper. A student, a new restaurant, a choba, a hotel, wa wufie. Eri yi, eri ayeful. Kaji kivo hot pepper na fayo with the band. Enyi njumuku anepe warubwa ema yezi in common. But anepe yeri sabontini izi na ode yenye bibi na yezi tuye kutujum na yezi nanto. Yankwa homanodo na yenye Reverend Joel Daniel Awuku, House of Restoration Chapel, Nkezi in common. Wisdom Wednesday, and then so Ibanaze in our domain. I say, we need strength whilst doing the possible, but we need faith whilst doing the impossible. Yanko no onchemu. Namini pa Christ asum jinko.
Anka so no tiefo nyina no wo tseyo.
Nyame adom ye hu ye papa da tro konkron.
Amen.
Now we need strength whilst doing the possible, but we need faith while doing the impossible. Reverend.
Yes. Okay. Madaso bebre meswa mechia one watiefo nyina ana anopei. Biase munu nimde na hwemu ma yemu se nipa ehia ahode mienu bi de abo ne bra ama watumi akonanim. The possible things niama esiwanim a ohia ho ahode atumi de aye ene se mesra no pay nyame enchama ahode na menko badwuma so wo yare a wakampem ko bedan akọ adwumam untumi enya ahode enko adwumam nti obi biara hia ahode number 1 apomodin ede akọ na adwuma so. These are possible things. This mekoi me carpenter ni meko twesrada me masini meko to trowel meko yewe ahode ni ho a urintumi enya ho hwe, and therefore you need strength to do the possible things. And also, we need faith to do the impossible things. Niema, and also, ye here ewe abrabomu pa, especially braye pese yapo yenanim. Isa mene opahini bi inkokasa, mene wama mi promotion ewe adwumam, enye wu ana wo ma ho promotion, enye wu ana wo betimi apagya sa neman, and therefore it becomes impossible on your side. You don't have strength over it. Only a one day. Sanya so still a who na ebanasa. Yamibiara Bodin, Yamibiara was someone, or no, I was a winning, Nimujibi, na otimi eko okoma. And then any can say, you need strength to do the possible things, but you need faith to do the impossible things. And you know, Obi Bero Tiemino. No opposite obre okwa anim no oni me ba ya adwene pa sai niema awode mienu wunya bi pa wunya awode awode kokoye adwuma wunya gidi ba awode enso ode be ye ne entie nuwa na no so eboa ma wabrabo ekwa anim no eno so wuhia mu awode nyame mu awo na ene tie bi na wotie na afa awode mienu nyina bi emfa ndomo ondomo na mafo awode ode bakokoye wadwuba amaso aba na wanya bi akofie onum susum gidi awode awde betwini eni ho ede abemu nyame enye won saa ewo ena anape adom nti amen.
Amen. Reverend Joel Daniel Aoku anepe yandase ewo nkranhya sama eze abran na yezi tu anamon ende anope. Nyame show bebre.
Amen.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Ewisa Reverend Joel Daniel Aoku, House of Restoration Chapel. And anope one man our motivational quote for the day. We need strength whilst doing the possible, but we need faith whilst doing the impossible. Anope ono na ozi amayan. We'll move straight to the conversation. Na yabeti nana kwikwahin ninka damaso na Osman the winger yabeti waninka as I join them on the discussion table, or as they join us on the discussion table. Na and there is in common. Na in common ni nyina no and me ma to ni din the battle of 24-hour economy. Who wins the who wins the possibility of the policy? The battle of 24-hour economy. Who wins? Now, the former president, John Dramani Mahama, opedo obedi 4 years bio. Or the insembia tuga. Now, this 24-hour economy, sisa wabeye ho ewo omani mu no. Wabro keshia oye TUC. Ena onyori din komo no se. Se onya akwenya no de obeye omampani biwa. One of his policies to turn this nation around, to turn the economic fortunes back to light. Onye de obey implement bibi our friend 24-hour economy. Na the 24-hour economy no. Ni incentives are all the can we there. Obey reduce corporate taxes and other exemptions to businesses that will sign up to the 24-hour economy initiative. Now, ono and the Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Sisa Yerke say, the flag bearer of the ruling party MPP. Once war per day, over break 8. No, so, as that together, this 24-hour economy, the nation is running the 24-hour economy dada. And see, a year at the forfeit. And see, the former president, on pay before no onka. But yente, ebia ente the conversation, and I enter the banter. Remember the president, the former president, John Dramani Mahama, wabro koshe TUC. Na nintoba orobo, orisheshi nkrofu nyina no. Ninkomo reading this 24-hour economy obem. But and my focus is not about the banter, the obebum another ombum. No, that is not my focus. Me day. Are we ready to interrogate in this 24-hour economy with insemibia wakano? Are we ready to interrogate more into that? Now, are we also ready? The Vice President need the Orica, the 24-hour economy. No, we are still, in fact, the nation is running urban or digitalization, and then those things are running. Do we have the fundamentals if we are to implement this 24 hours, the so-called 24 hours economy, the former president Orikano? Do we have the infrastructure, or has the infrastructure been established already for this 24-hour economy? And what will be the trade-off between taxes and revenue in creating a 24-hour economy? These are the questions that we need to be asking, rather than so this is my issue, and then I want you to also sit down and then also share the possible questions that you need to ask about this 24 hours economy. But Yente, the voice of the former president John Dramani Mahama, Then after it's Dr. Baumia no sune encounter ozriba na me ka de bokwa homa no do na yekezi inkomo yenye economist busy inkomo afan this year we basi bru ha ya abe yente. I'll be back.
We intend to implement a 24-hour economy, and by this we will provide incentives in terms of reduction in corporate taxes and other exemptions to businesses that will sign up to the 24-hour economy initiative. And if we remember, in the past, but then we must also look at the security side and make sure that we provide them with security. Because remember, in the past, filling stations used to work 24 hours. Unfortunately, armed robbers started attacking them, and because of that, they all closed at about 10 o'clock. And so if we're able to provide them with adequate security, businesses and services like that, there's no reason why they can't operate 24 hours. And we'll give them the tax incentives to be able to do so. We'll identify and promote strategic growth areas such as IT with a targeted $3 billion investment and drive an aggressive infrastructure development under our Big Push program. We will shift attention from the macro economy to the micro and focus on growth in the real sector instead of just on macroeconomic stability. Additionally, we'll support the TUC and organized labor to expand its current investments and establish new joint businesses and ventures with third parties to also provide employment to our people. As part of our industrial policy, we will develop policies that promote Ghanaian ownership and control of major sectors and encourage a Buy Ghana agenda.
That was the former President John Dramani Mahama. We be do your money do that. We be do your money do that. Ono no sisa obebiwa. Sonya Queen and Ghana for to man obebiwa. These are one of his policy or the 24-hour economy. Now, enter the Vice President and currently the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. No, so the okay for this 24-hour economy. No.
It tells you that if you make me president, I will have my own vision and I will have my own priorities and I'll bring more ideas and more ideas and more ideas. Today, John Mahama says he has a new idea. And what is the new idea? He says he wants a 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. He doesn't even understand that policy. Today in Ghana, our hospitals work 24 hours. Our electricity company works 24 hours. Our water company works 24 hours. Our phone companies work 24 hours. Many chop bars work 24 hours. Isn't it? Today, because of digitalization, the banks, you can transfer money 24 hours. You can receive money 24 hours. Isn't it? So he doesn't understand his own policy. It does not make sense. And I want you to vote in 2024 for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I will bring a new vision. I will bring new policy. And we will transform this country. John Mahama is the past. Dr. Bawumia is the future. If Dr. Mahama was there, we will still be having a doomsday economy. You can't have 24-hour economy with doomsday. You want to vote for Dr. Bawumia in 2024. We will take the country to new heights.
Enti yate the Vice President currently the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. This 24-hour economy, what is it at all? And currently, as a nation, are we running this economy? And I mean, I don't understand though. Obiawo ni vision, Obiawo ni policies. So, all right. Yanyi ora courage boti oye economist yanyi ni busy inkomo. after this 24-hour economy issue abe. Now, Vice President also that currently we are running 24 hours and we don't need anybody to tell us that about running 24 hours because a person send his car anytime to me send Ghana Water 24 hours, Electricity Company of Ghana 24 hours. So we want to understand the 24-hour economy. The former president, no? Yes, the 24-hour economy. But my question is, do we have the foundation for the policy? Do we have the structure, the infrastructure for the policy? I mean, as a nation, do we have the necessary infrastructure for the policy? And what will be the trade-off between taxes and revenue in creating a 24-hour economy? What are the tax elements to be scrapped, as the former president said? Because need to create a new commonuma. I say, obi sign up to the initiative, our tax reduction components be ordinary and other exemptions be ordinary. So if you don't sign up to it, so how is he going to implement this 24-hour economy? Unless you need to sign up to it, or what? So what are the tax elements to be scrapped, to be enjoyed by businesses, business owners who operate the 24-hour economy? So these are the questions. But the big question is, as a nation, have we failed to implement the national development agenda? Yeje yomani yedashe politicians wanensa. No obiaba, me want this vision for the nation. Me want this vision for the nation. Me want this vision for the nation. But then at the end of the day, Obosarako, and even their visioner, they lined up. Ewo, wani book mo sa wana be dimokrano. Wobo wieno. Ena wani visioner, wana nkasa wachocho wadi be when tumina we implement that vision. Ena wako. No way the nation in shadows. No way the nation in shadows. So if we are talking about 24-hour economy and yepede omani okweninima, what must we do as a nation? Because this an obia iyeni manifesto draw no policies are say NDC are onyini nkofa akwatina say why you want manifesto. We free there dey ne ye obobo omane no. Say MPP a won so akwatina nchan why you want manifesto. You free the day na ye ya obobo omane no. But at the end of the day, nobody interrogates them. There, this policy are aye. Even as a pa what even as a pa no aba kwan na eba fado na aye. Until now we are running to IMF because we will draw the policies, we don't draw plans. I mean, shade the revenue and ade obenyina no, we don't have concrete able to miaka de yani policy ye draw yani ebia ya ba benuma. We are targeting this amount of money to run our policy. Nti yaba or run a policy economy asikani inho then yana na ya bobusia. Yes. So the critical debate must not be on what the trade-off is between. That should be the critical debate. The trade-off is between taxes and revenue in creating a 24-hour economy. The debate must be on what be the trade-off. So yare bo ahomano de yanensa baka oye ora courage buti oye economist na yenyine eze nkomo afan this 24-hour economy ya kan wasemi ko Facebook and our YouTube, like our page, share na wasu bia enembia no share ma for leave your comment na follow like share and follow and anytime ebe ye bia na ebe nya notification na adwane yene conversation na yetum na easy nkomo meba na yenyi ura courage boti easy nkomo about this initiative or this policy the former president or kanwasem the vice president nso waba bontin na bakada we are running the 24-hour economy. Dada, I'll be back.
Jene mapa enka emfata yen so manga na yedi monyamo ya toba ye ni edi kan fonso na ye ya yedi kan bedi ye jire yedi yesike jananka enti moma ye transition ne yaka fellow ganes ye nyine ni tia o manga ko inchiche mu ya dozo o maine hoda nasa ese binkumnya ne kata so jene proye nansu medica ya sreda.
All right, enti na nakwekwa hin na Osman what na say obo join the political table no mobile discussion table no kwa hin da mu hwe ni ma ama ade enti obo join the discussion table na yezu ho enkomo kakra. Good morning.
Good morning, Gwamina.
Apo me
I'm not the moye na wo say.
Oh Christ inti.
Yeah, this.
Utin another na kwaso one ade
And the yan mkaso.
Aha. Say why fedachim.
In match man.
Why fedachim?
By any match man.
Any matchim pa.
Oh, okay.
What you did do?
Why did the pa?
We could be with the nature and chimbo guda. Edemia. Also, good morning.
Good morning, Kwamina.
How are you?
Kuna some kind of mission is personal. On a personal, I don't not chief represent it's personal autonomous him fan.
Pocho man call. So we are autonomous count.
No, be said no autonomous count tana hina. Miss man was so number tasi. Ebi as what touch and another be a coby no work a fire. And we come in them.
So tay.
Or tay.
In gentlemen color cafe will be.
Not net to no be surprised into Munka.
Oh.
No, no,
we had do in talk count.
Oh, Jinzy. I took a new appointment now.
Menti Chideka.
What's all the PR? Chief Auntie.
PR info.
I'm not a Bufuna. Auntie, or for Auntie Nana, Sister Nana PR.
Kukunia said, no. Come we just a pay hui. Menti arrange and some catch on. Mancasano.
PR. What if your bachelor point was young, was your for money? And I'm not sure easy. Abacaba somewhere. May I create him? Free any details here.
PR was a boys we case for South Africa.
Wakaba. Last year, I sank him no come, but no call South Africans.
Until this year, I South Africa. Until I feel I sank him no.
All by the original
with South African cuisine. In Quanina, South African.
Yes, but I say conversation.
Now, I can't say no. Or because I'm playing about
I point out why try to
yes, but I point to be what your man will I for Yama. Material, me show you know your course one.
When was that? Is it 3 days ago? So go. Remember, yes. Upon you what do free my your best son or agenda?
Son of agenda.
Hey, Nab. Hey, Mumbo is my cobana needing. Come in April. Will be a new Mumbos, man, I'm the Mumbos. All right, Osman and I'm crying. Mamma Kwamano Dombra, Ewa. Na yenzi enkomo many ora courage boti enkezi nkomo ye economist na with this 24-hour battle ebezu enkomo ora boti memo akwa ban from Kastle 90.3 FM
majudo mecha chief na
etifu so da se bebre
ocho me fan to no ye papa into no
oh
yeah no that chum
ke bo korida ma ya bokware da ma meji da bia won bibia ya bokọ
oh bibia bokọ
ya da nyame ase yes na yes common ase na mama ndin kan mfamfa ahade as a nation ye fail there we will develop a national development agenda as a nation. Have we failed on that aspect?
Yeah, I think this is an established fact. Even national development agenda. No, I mean, there is a national development, is a planning commission or something like that. Every government tries to choose a leader or a director for that institution. The last I remember, I think under the John Mahama government, the Professor Kwesi Botwe also was the one leading that institution. They developed what they call a 40-year development plan. But I think the moment Mahama Ben, when that was the end of that plan, really. President Kufuor Ben also choose a new director. I think that is Professor, what's his name? Ade. I don't know if he's still in that capacity. And of course,
former rector of Gempa.
Exactly.
Okay.
He was appointed by the current government. I don't know if he's still at post. But then the reality is that Abambiaba, I think they run with a 5-year plan, and they need to put that out, I believe, in the second year of their government because of the cycle they run. It's a 4-year government, and the cycle of that plan is 5 years. So normally it extends 1 year into the new government, and they keep bringing out new documents, no coherence, no logical trace between the two. I think that is the biggest problem we have as a nation. It's not like we have a certain plan and political parties also in your manifesto you are showing us how you achieve that national plan, but it's a ban way or this political party feel that this year amount for when they vote for us now. They parade that, they come until you realize that reflects in the number of projects Ayasha say and new government come into us, so programs Ayasha say new government buy and will abandon them, and the many such examples we have around. It all finds its root in that lack of a coherent national plan. And I think the problem until we get to that level where there is a national agenda, and our party A better and how you will take us there. Party B also better and how you take us there, and become competition of ideas as to how we achieve that common goal now. I mean, the way it is now. Look at a typical example. When this current government came, I think the first few years of their government, when you complete this project, it be a road project, you completed for some bridge, flyover, the other side who just left government will tell you, say, it is our project, should give us credit for it. And in the bid not to do something that someone will claim credit for, they discontinue it altogether and start a new one afresh. It's locked up there, it won't progress. When this current government came in their first term, there was a vice president residence under construction. A lot of noise around it, and that was why it ended. That building is sitting there for the last 7 or so years. Obi and Koho, no development. Sagleme housing has been there for God knows how long. Since this government there, they claim they identify issues about them, and those issues have no resolution. At your own backyard, Commander Sugar Factory, but this government has been championing one district, one factory for the last 7 or so years. And it is the lack of that national agenda. Say, me feel say me so me bana me be here. Would now wash us and I to feel like I have not done anything myself, and the other side will claim glory for it anyway. And me then let me start my own. That is how we have run our nation. But if there is a plan, in there, keep coast na yeko. I could go through Kaswa and down there. I could go through other places and get to Cape Coast now. Then we look at which road is more efficient, which road is more possible. Now, I have to about that road, but as it stands now, and we are going helter-skelter. There is no national plan.
Inti yeje ya mana she politicians won nsa eno biaba I have this vision. I have this vision. At the end of the day, when the vision is upon it will be realized in a walk up.
Them not care.
Wow. Wow. All right. Sent to cry now maybe sir the national development agenda and other plan on you there. The former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we bedi omani duda. Now, also say Ghana with a build up to 2024 election, say what to Abadzimana. Our policy and our initiative be our 24-hour economy. Obe rolling out. Na wetum na ozi abua omani. Na this country say yaka dame 24-hour economy. You are an economist. I mean, can you explain this 24-hour economy to us? What entails? I mean, when it comes to the 24-hour economy.
And so a 24-hour economy, I think from what I know and what prevails in a number of other cities across the globe, any there, like the economy functions 24 hours. And the working hours is from 8 o'clock to, I believe, 5 o'clock, some to 7, 8, depending on your situation. For most people, you man upon by 5, now upon another either a 12-hour or 8-hour shift running, and then you close. So the night period, it be other. But the argument is there are still office spaces, machines to run, unemployed people. If you are running an economy that is not closing at 5 now, you have these economies like London, like city like London, and the major cities across the globe, Paris, Washington, most of the cities in the US, and a lot of other places really. I believe that is the idea we are being sold. But then I'm asking myself a critical question. Is this a policy to be championed by government? Because at the end of the day, capitalist economy now, promoting or we are championing in Ghana, no? And of course, that applies in other areas, no? What economics called demand and supply, and actually like what needs to be produced. Okay, funny day. I believe your radio station operates 24 hours.
Yeah.
One point, like you work through the night.
Yes, we work through the night.
Yeah, and I believe almost all radio stations in Ghana do same, because why? There is demand for your program during the night. I believe you just didn't get up now or say like let me do transmission during the night. It's because that people are listening to you, and I guess you have a statistic that shows how many people listening at night. Otherwise, you won't be wasting your resources. The staff that sit through the night to do the night program, they are paid also. Like there is no way you will pay them, and it applies to a number of radio stations, hospitals. Funny, there are manufacturing companies, even mines. My enclave have a lot of manufacturing companies. They operate their night economies. But why would they do so? They are doing so because there is a demand for what they are doing. They are producing services, or if you like, products that maybe others now will receive, as more than what they can do during just a day shift. And so they had to extend it during night shift. It will mean a lot more job for people. It will mean there is an economy around there. So like you can still sell food at night. Transport companies can still operate if it is functional. But the point I'm making is it has to be demand driven, not because Abandi feel they run the economy, a 24-hour economy. You won't tell Zoom Lion, or you won't tell any other company there, because I am government, me provide you security, street lights, any those other services at night, go and run an economy. If that company doesn't see demand for its services, others be a man on nearby, others a workroom, they are not able to meet it within the 12-hour period, and they want to extend it to 24. If they do not satisfy themselves, there is a need for that kind of shift. They won't do it to start with, and if they feel the need, and yet abandon another government policy be the better there, like do this. Government is best when governs least, and I feel what government can do is when eventually we get there, which is a private man decision, a businessman's decision, whether they will pay 24 hours or not. I work for GCB Bank. I don't think because John Mahama government says we are putting a 24-hour economy into the GCB, back at their staff. Mumbra and I'm hiring a new set of staff at night. Mumbra and Juma. No, they won't do that. They will do so only when they feel there is a need for it. There is a service, there is a job to be done, and the monetary rewards, it makes sense to them, really. It is when we get to such levels where you see that the night economy is getting active, then you will try to find what services are needed to encourage it. Is it transport? Is it lighting of the street? Is it security? Is it what? Then policy comes in to say that we have realized a night economy is thriving, and we have also realized there could be security concerns, so that people can be protected, that they can do their jobs well. But if you get up and say, I've announced a policy, night economy, 24-hour economy now, I don't think it's incentive enough for anyone to even operate it. They still will have to convince themselves that it makes business sense. I mean, that is where I have a problem. In the internet, maybe there must be an economic policy championed by a government, or it will be government, say, 24-hour economy. How will you look at how we were sold the idea of 1D, 1F.
Yeah.
It sounded like every district will have a company in there. We have how many districts in Ghana? Over 200 plus districts. Mm-hmm. The last I saw, about 169 1D, 1F factories are operating. And Numpono, the Benaye factories, they were existing and they were just supported with some financing or stuff like that to keep operating. And we don't put, and that policy was dependent on government. Government was selling an idea, and it has to be the private businessman doing his feasibility studies and be convinced that that district way, with the factory to hold, and all of that. It is until they reach that decision that they would make progress. It's industrialization. You are giving incentives for people to do so. But then, if you say it's a company like yours, if you don't see need for night economy, now say, the amount of tax relief and to operate a night economy to hire more people. Me hire more people so that how would I pay them? I'm hiring more people so that how do I keep my station running? Same for every other business, a bank, an insurance company, name them. If they do not see need for it in terms of value, they won't do it. No amount of, even if you give them zero tax, they won't do it. Because they won't even generate revenue to start with now. I'll bet you a tax or I don't know if you get the point I'm advancing, really. Yeah. So I think that at this point, these are not the kind of conversations we should be having. The unemployment levels in Ghana is quite scary. You can see the number of people leaving the country looking for pastors anew. Institutions, how they are just not performing. And there is the need for strengthening and streamlining institutions so that they can do the jobs or whatever. Yeah. Those are things we need to start fixing, and if you give me the chance, questions I'll be asking this aspirant to be, what is your solution to this problem, that problem that we know? As for 24-hour economy, if the businessman feels the need for it, they will run it. It doesn't have to be a government policy.
Okay, so then it means we need to have the proper foundations laid before we can talk about running 24 hours economy, fixing certain aspects of the economy.
I mean, that is very important. And I just cited the example. Your station is not running 24-hour economy because it's a government policy. You are doing so because there is a need for it. Mm-hmm. And every business, manufacturing business, mining business, call it, name it, if they feel, look, Circle station there, they run 24 hours. It's a transport station. They run 24 hours, but that's because people come at night to travel to places. Wanna walk Takrady, wanna walk Kumasi, wanna walk Sunyani, wanna walk Baby all across the long distances. Mm-hmm. People go there. Someone can even take his bag at 11 o'clock in the evening on the night, 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. at night, 1 a.m. and say I'm going to circle to pick car to wherever I'm going to, and they find car. They find drivers there. They find people shouting Kumasi, Kumasi, Takrade, Takrade. They are not doing so because they're buying BC. Like, let's do 24. They are doing it because there is a need. In America, we are in a capitalist economy. People pursue their profit interest. That is what they pursue. So if any business leader sees need to run a 24-hour system, they will. It doesn't have to come from government. But I'm trying to say, when we get to that level where there is need and people are running it, government's role will be to provide the essential services that can protect citizens. And to say arrangement for security in town. If it's arrangement for, if you like, transport, efficient transport system that ensures, say, any STC now, they will be at hand to move people in and out at specific times now. Then you do those ones, right? But at this point, I don't think it's the most important policy proposal to put across.
Wow.
Because people will not make decisions based on you saying, I'm giving you tax incentives. They'll make decisions based on, is it profitable to run a night economy?
Okay.
If it is not, they won't. That's the point I'm making.
Wow. All right. But, Obisu Bakade, that with what you are saying, the policymakers should identify certain agencies. They can start off with. The vice president was saying that since a pedestrian is 24 hours, at any point in time, you can send the money. The ECG is working 24 hours. Ghana Water is working 24 hours. So we need to identify certain sectors. Now, Yankade, we are targeting, as you said, the transport sector. We can run 24 hours with it. But the demand aspect to the other sectors, hinder the rollout of 24 hours economy.
Yes, and that's the point I've been making all this while. And I don't even believe in targeting sectors.
Okay.
The reason is that you mentioned Ghana Water. As for sending money, I don't even want to comment on it. But things like Ghana Water services, no, it is because people need water throughout the day, like at night. ECG, they are working 24 hours because people need it. Hospitals, they are doing so because people need it. Truck driver now, Oduibia 9 and 8, no, park in a car. No, he's not doing so out of laziness. He's doing so because after 9, the streets now are empty. And the there say Odu 31st night. Now man for sorry now there. You see that even at 1 a.m. there are trucks in town, there are taxis in town, and all of that. They are doing so for their own profit motives. They know the economy, they know the cycles. And to say the taxi driver on a Namanajoa, it is because for the business a taxi driver do once a while there will be someone needing a car to move around. And to know on a Nama, it knows it's a risk. It may not get anyone, but obey you being so and at night no charges no also. And all of that. And it's the reason that Uber na boat na then now or has CCN like we are using CCN Najua first no so because you would have to drive a long distance to someone. And the economy itself pushes people to do what is in their interest. She knows when to come to work and when to not come. And every day, what quantity to cook and not cook. Because he knows I made 100 balls of kinky banda. I know Otoma by 12 o'clock. Now what to if I still want to make more money, and I know people who come after 12. The number of people who come after 12 to ask for Kinkino, I may increase to 150, 200. Say, before the Milton is banned and people will come at night, I will know it because I make it a policy as a restaurant to close at 9. But make them map on at 9 or when I close at 9. The number of people that keep calling for orders, the number of people that keep coming, say, me pay the ban, me pay, on or better whether to extend your closing time to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, or 12 o'clock. And yet, no better. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
People pursue their interests based on their profit motives. And that is what you get in a capitalist economy. A capitalist economy where everybody is doing their own thing for their own interest. but at the end it serves everybody's collective need. That is it. And you know, say what company on you there, like I want wash your hall, and there are a lot of you inside there, even at night now, and that woman selling cocoa around, that woman selling Indomie around, no, on pawn at 7 or 8, because he knows there are people in there who may be hungry.
Okay.
Another, if there are people in there now, what bad, they they bring their food now, then when you say I can't count on these people because I have not seen the trend where they come to buy food at night. So it doesn't have to come from government. ECG is not operating at night because Abansi they should operate at night.
Mm-hmm.
And the companies, the many companies that operate at night in Ghana, and there are lots of them really, they are not operating because government says they're operating at night. And if you give them tax relief, you know, that is not what will make them employ more people. Because at the end of the day, it still has to make sense. Okay, salaries now meet you versus a Jumana Yimpana may high no baba, you know. It should match. There should be the end goal is to make profit for yourself. And if you are giving me a 30% or 25% tax relief, now ADR Nimpana Medineba, now I'm paying him 5,000-6,000 in a month. But then a Jumana obey and a Juno to that level now. What is the point in employing? So I really feel it's a misplaced priority at this time.
Wow.
If we are listening to policies that can transform Ghana, I don't think this is one of it. We should be talking about things that can support young agriculture during this COVID period up until now. No, agric is one of that sector that has been consistent in reporting growth, strong growth, 4.5% all through from COVID till now. Services sector suffered when COVID came. Industrial sector for the last 3 quarters have been contracting, negative growth. But agric is still that sector that is supporting us. Into something like a planting for food and job. How do we target it to farmers, commercial farmers, small scale farmers? What inputs and support levels do we need to get them to produce? Because inflation now will do 54% na no. Ediani bo ekahobi and the money yes but we are a nation with vast arable land. How can we intervene to boost productivity from that agri sector? Urban industry, urban services. How do we strengthen state institutions to render the services that are required for all other sectors to operate? Those are the things. How do we ensure, say, the quality of projects now executed, they are not inflated, they bring us value, and that we can create sustainable jobs through the public expenditure? I think those are the things we should be worried about at this time. As for night economy, it will come if it has to come.
Okay.
If businessmen see need for it, they will bring it. It doesn't have to be a government policy.
Wow. So the business community, I mean, so if feasible, I mean, the business community now will be rolling out.
They would have done it long ago.
Okay.
They would have done it. And some are doing it, I must say.
Yeah.
Some are doing it. They are doing so not because of Banama or tax waivers and a BB. They are doing so because there is a need for it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But obviously, back there, with this component here, Oracle as the initiative, I mean, it would create more, I mean, job because so you're running in 24 hours. It means it will be an hour shift. It be about 2 hours, 4 hours. What happen? Okay, another person will come and also continue. So I mean, the business community will employ more. I mean, I want to say when it then.
So let me again stick with Kastle FM. Me here, but probably you are supposed to work for 8 hours in TBI. In front of the boss with your 20,000 a month. I'm just assuming. Maybe I know over them, but in front of the boss with your 20,000 a month. And you know, funny there, and you are the morning show host. And you know, say, essay. Let's recruit more people for a 24-hour shift now. The question will be, are you doing another night show, maybe a talk show, or what will be the programming for the night? What will be the patronage? The way when you want to the adverts now will run and when are LPMs now, you know. How many people would have been listening to radio at that time for it to make sense to run your adverts? And make enough money to pay for those that are working at night. You need to ask yourself those questions. And so if you have maybe 10 staff by day and maybe just one person or two people at night, maybe a DJ. Normally night, not so.
Yeah.
Just to keep the channel running. So maybe you just need one DJ or two at night. Or do maybe 4 or 5 now. Then you see the pastors coming, the prayer sessions, and then all of those things coming in. Normally that is how radio stations run.
Yeah.
And at night, you have just about 1 or 2 people running the station, and you do so because the demand at night is just that. And to say, for 5, 6 people at night, because there is a government policy that says let's do night program. Because as an employer there, how will you pay those 4 or 5 people you are bringing in? And that's the point I've been advancing all this while.
Okay.
They will do it only when it makes sense financially. Obi enko hire Obi Mbade like just to come and impose cost on themselves. They will hire new persons because they know say Jumana or Babayan. I think it's only the public sector that we hire people even when they are not doing anything. And there are a lot of it. Eco government offices, man, there or buy photocopies now. That is all the person is doing. Bisu or Nijuma errands, run around, cottage bandem, cottage Ibrahim, now so Nijuma.
But Orabuti Mibo, and can to me and push into our government agencies, because a bit the passport office and other agencies now. Or time order point, but they have backlogs with you.
Exactly. So that one, there is a demand for it, and so no acquire operate night shift so that you can print more cards, and then of course it will long queues during the day. If passport office says we are open to take biometrics during the night, it could make sense if you work the numbers now. Who they're like, you would see patronage. It makes sense, even if it is not people taking biometrics and pictures now. They can know you're printing of books now. It makes sense, and I believe people do. Right? Okay. I believe those things are done.
Okay.
I'm not against the idea. I'm saying, say, institutions that see need for it, that makes sense, they will do it, and they do it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It will not make sense that me will do my and as my clients, they are waiting for me, and I have nothing in the market. Like I've gone to sleep, everybody is sleeping, and people are waiting for me. Those Dubai, London, Paris, those cities now operate 24 hours. Most likely they have companies that serve the globe. They are not just selling to London or just to the UK or to the country they are in. They have clients across. Until they're funny there, there is a company somewhere in China that is producing there phones and cars or whatever it is and selling to Africa and many other countries. If you want to operate just by day, you can't do it. Demand others now fee Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, bad aggregate you will need to run an economy at night. And for those instances, and now when they will do it because they need to meet their demand, and there is reward for them doing so. And it applies to every other institution, even in Ghana here, based on your something like your
demand factor.
What is this institution called? Like they export fresh fruit to the UK now. I've forgotten their name. They operate day and night, and they do so because there is need for it. There is need for it. It's as many institutions that have need for some of these things, they will do it anyways. They will do it anyways. And then if you are coming in to say I'm giving you tax relief to employ more people at night, then I'm asking myself, if I need 10 staff to work at night, which I'm doing already, now my tax relief said me employ more. If I bring 20 people, what would that mean? And I was making an example of you.
Okay.
Say, what for 5 more people, like we do for at night to operate at night. Question is, what value are they generating? And would they also be paid 20,000? And I say, I owe 20,000 because we want to take more staff in, if there's about 10,000 so that we can spread the rest across other people. Because it has to make sense financially.
Okay.
That's the argument I'm making. It won't automatically generate employment. It will generate employment when there is need. It will generate employment when there is value for it. But not because the government says I'm rolling out this policy. And I feel there are a lot of more pressing issues we should address. Of course, we are in the political season, that season where we hear lots of promises, and maybe we can expect a lot more of these. But as media persons, as citizens, we should subject some of these things to scrutiny. Fair. Does it make sense? Is this what we need at this point? I don't think we should jump on some of these narratives and just be running. And I've seen a lot of banter on social media as to what Vice President said and what John Mahama said and who is making sense and we need that. But yes, it's one thing saying I'm running a 24-hour economy. It's another thing for businesses to do it. And it doesn't end there. Say, we want to run 24-hour economy. It has to make sense to the businesses to want to do it. And until we get there, there is no conversation.
Wow. So we need to interrogate this policy further. And then...
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
All right, but see, my end say, because it seems my question, you've addressed all my questions. And we'll probably, these politicians, what the policies about, we need to interrogate further, and then questions need to be asked, and then we need to get answers. It will define our rather than wow.
We need to interrogate them.
Yeah.
We need to interrogate them.
Yeah.
And we've been deceived for far too long. I thought, after this whole episode from NDC to MPP and all the stories, promises now and they end up not doing even half of them. No, I thought we will be, as citizens, will be a bit more careful about how we respond to some of these proposals and policies and promises, and rather look at them holistically. But it appears nothing has changed, and so long as there is value in it for these political parties, they'll keep doing it. We are in the season. You will hear a lot more of these. With the Weber and a mayor day. But let's sit back as people, and I think the idea of a balanced panel, as we do it these days, I don't think it makes sense to me.
Okay.
At the end, it's Nick Krober, the MPP Nick Krober, and maybe one other person who clearly he has a political affiliation, but he claims he's independent. Or the next one also we have a balanced panel. Then John Mahama say, I will then NPP Bekada on Yakra, NDC Bekada is the best thing to happen. That the neutral person who is not really neutral, then at the end we end it there.
We need to move far beyond that.
Not to defending people now. There is arguments. Winning is that's it, but it doesn't solve the problem.
Okay.
I think we should get to the point where you have technocrats dissecting some of these policies. I think things like town halls, even championed by these media houses. Let's get experts. In a way, does it make sense? So you can collate a number of policies proposals. We delve into them. And we express our opinions clearly. If the whole community doesn't support this policy or the understanding they feel there is not the right way to go, you can even make proposals to these political parties there. In Cape Coast community, and at this community, this is what we think about this policy. You won't fly. It would get our leaders to start thinking. But then the way it is, like AKBB, everybody jumps at it. So everybody is motivated to come and say something. And we've seen a lot of it. One promise of airports for Cape Coast. Do you have the airport? There are lots of these things.
Wow. So the citizenry and we need to be more discerning. And
exactly.
Araboti, my and I say, we'll surely come back to you, and then we talk more on economic issues and economy. We'll talk more on it. Internepe, that's your input on our program.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Ebisafu, ora, courage, boti. Wow, one man, insightful analysis of the policy. The former president and the initiative of the former president, I say, maybe now I'll join the discussion table with Nana Kwikwahin and then Osman. I'll be back.
tonti ye no monsana ye fadwe ne mapa enka emfata yen so manga na yeni monya moya toba ye ni e di kan fonso na ye ya ye di kan be di ejire ye de sike dananka enti moma ye trase twene yaka fellow Ghanaians ye nyine ni tria o manga ko inchiche moya dawo o mayne hodo nasa ese bi kumnya ne kata so jene proye nansu medika ya sweda da say ya ye di kan be di ejire wa Africa ye de sike dananka enti moma ye trase twene yake woso fellow Ghanaians mama ye beja me ye God bless them.
All right, into fellow Ghanaians, one boy na impeja omani. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Kegu. Change for our economy.
Opinion from the economist.
Yes.
Nti waka sala from we but I mean education on that.
Yeah.
But you see, as a man no. And people tell the be there already in national development plan. And there, Obiara Opada overstand on the ticket of any political party or even as an independent candidate. Biano, ne ideas, ne vision. Those things you Opada or ye biano. I no go to come scan by.
Yeah.
Or your money sika, young resources, and I was by. So we were also about by or ye 40-year intention in the Cape Coast or Perry Junction. Or your nanny personal money not by, or your personal resource not by. Obi ka chen about dualize from Accra to Cape Coast Takrade Highway or yeah ECOWAS road here. I want one scam by or man scam was by 2008 2007 9 people what to about we flag bearer the then candidate Nana Dawe Kufado all by you know ride on free SHS and even that free SHS is not ride on it is in our constitution. I was stating clearly they again progressively. And constitution put state to the university level. In the yes, you only able to yet at this point. You to the maximum year, no yaye. But Nanadu only picked that side of the free essay because already know the President Kufama the free compulsory basic education constitution man. She say your basic school free. And also PK or yeah the free SHS side and there. Secondary schools no buy free. Fast forward 2008 we win. You 2012 still and all ride on this free SHS no do. 2012 to aban we win. John Mama won. Also ben also no Gina constitution more carry progressively. So it's something like progressive free SHS for the day student. And my day student for now one tuition don't be uchi na azu nya oyi fi o. Another one in 2016. Obe no o make sure that the first year na was when in one can no start to implement this free SHS. A fantastic idea. No doubt about that. Adasa. But in there as if there was be ala a home.
Okay.
I'm a tinadi, manco free SHS maybe. But in your call secondary school check each school fees in Nano. You put me a cade, say free SHS in you are. You can coffee or one can be going to secondary school. Yes, of course. Yeah. On but aside that, you know how Ozaba. Actually, education is the last time me engage Dr. Peter Patianti, na Dr. Eric Kofi Akapo Mensa. Free SHS no, Abanizabeth na Zebasa, no sooner than you do. The man may basa also create accessibility and a course quality. And a critical me if I'm wedding. But on the accessibility no ho. But the quality of oil for a channel out of Moaban on the phone. Arasa, you and I know. Now, says I know John Domani Mama, okay, she a TV Sifono. Wabaka will introduce something like we call the 24-hour economy. For now, no, the name calling and what to now, no, coming and me like Mentasi. Or they yet to intellectual discourse on this issue or come and the police also of Babano. Arasa. He's saying that he's bringing on board 24-hour economy.
Waka tax reduction.
Yes, incentives over private sector going to wide and why. And this 24-hour economy, we need a constitution.
Yeah.
And to enforce a private entity like Kastle FM by force, ABM run 24-hour economy, of which we are already in it. Yeah. But then to enforce other business that one into a voluntary. And voluntary is about or they to remember the main human on tax incentives not moving way. But with this, yeah, from political angle,
tax incentives in Babakra or Robotin the demand aspect.
Sure.
You cannot all work 24 hours. No demand the next dana or by encouraging Nimpane there as you work 24 hours.
Exactly. Kwamina, across all the sectors of our economy, your some parts be obayes ne kakra ahyase no na ya some party bi wa ole ye nke watch belong overdue because the last time I engage already James B. Rattenberg our contest MPP one parliamentary primary for Cape Coast South me engage no you be a why me Cape Coast Castle urban tourist na why made mother obey no catch in the on task there about 50 amana go Ghana no for car obo Cape Coast over Castle dey we are no work most of the time they don't sleep yo about 50 wa obodu Ghana no ya the same chire wadan kran ade chance na wa afaka aba Cape Coast Castle do bosha castle na wako why they introduce night eyi wo na yentum na yen today ofi abrochi oba no obodu Ghana yin bi mpa he or she can still come to Cape Coast obodu ambasha Cape Coast Castle no say about them adachi adasa because Cape Coast Castle so come number 5 will happen because yenyi proper lighting system ya wa go bon nche daytime so we can introduce something like that. And aside that, yenyi any other places be about foba. Huni about your botu why there, young quiet about them adachi. Nightlife, why do Cape Coast Friday, Saturday, Sunday, oko 9. And how many a restaurant and a urban or yeah, one away a night business now. Them pubs na facilities are or Cape Coast area why a night business. Yes, go for fashion, say Mr. Kroma. But she do ya first buyer. You get the likes of level 3 na do way hwe we na nkofa be shekroma so it tells you there even in the tourism sector no and hospitality sector no e bo tumi ahye make na night no wa yedwuma ho because yenya pubs yenya hotels yenya so many ye wo bo shows na ze nyu bi o ati silba wo ye year of December no be you also beyond the return bisere Cape Coast ade abad no bokodo wade ye ba chere ye beyond the return a e bo tumi yenya scafe night business nim bisaunde panafest na pona was the guide or show no bisana was the panafest or should be man
but do we have the foundation or the necessary structures for this enkomoya yerizi about this 24-hour economy? Do you have the foundation or the proper structures for it?
Mind you, Rome was not built in a day.
Okay, so you believe in the possibility?
Yes. Okay. Say yatawani ya de yenyi facilities yenyi dam eyire botum ya na no che ye kechiro because echo all this go to New York City USA wonder or 24 hours economy echo ebenya bibia ato mepele be botumaye
but New York economy how is the demand
maba kwamina
yata sir
yes
economic demand
New York no economy was started no or room cola na demand na higher
okay.
They started from somewhere and was go baby. So come in yet tell them no be more kada phrase just in Kayan the next 20 or 25 years. Yet I want the money. We can do it. Come in, we can do this thing. And already them are work on it be more why the business need be that 24-hour economy be ho. Echo this pure water manufacturing can one way and sun as now. Why you ma till the next morning. Adasa, bisa on the Cape Coast area CCM metro gas. Why you ma over 5 will happen. The next one was so aba but bisa one way adwuma nyu bi npo okroma ha dey ikroma one water na one watch kelewele one way spaghetti one way indomie na ze no bisa one dey ebe no faso na assembly wonye fi won because they don't get ticket ma one
okay
they don't pay ticket obi otan ba okroma dey bia nche ticket but say you introduce this 24-hour economy a e wo tun nya nkofo a won so ba ye adwuma nyu bi be from 6 p.m. going won so ga gi ticket oba ma yesi sin one water na Ghana pa no adasa ibenya city gas a obotu wine force law no because you nkofo be ho cars wo di adwuma nyubira na nkofo nche ticket ibe mo ye teacher ni open adwuma nyu bi no start there o ye adwuma no nche ticket ni bi o am o ye adwuma till the next morning what happen aka park na car na look adwuma e bi no aba so ye introducer in a way no come na ibotu ye increase the unemployment situation of kroma dey ibotu ye reducing na employment in akosol mind you ebe Cape Coast area not all filling stations na why 24 and 24 hours one young there warrior there obutu about attack one anytime it is over there a filling station the around 24 hour we gina wo and wa da na akobo abu mu we gina wo ye adwuma run a shift system a you be create employment for those people wo be nyu bi no wo be run a shift no aside that no post for our guide when you be create employment for them the more employment situation but for more youth into the security architecture of our country. Into Kwame, I'm more than you one. Bibi or to them instead of there, you intellectual discussion on that. No, politics name calling bisanda oye den na bedu wenju wenhu da man dem mpanyimfo sene sunwe o ma adwen
Okay.
sunwe o ma adwen bi a ebia nke enyim de nke eke dade wanke ye no ebia na matam na ntuma nke ba ya dele dwen no na adwen for so leba na e pede implementing this time it's come the yenje dem names name calling no politics ya dem 24 economy ya yenje already in there eba mani ma ibianyim there most of our sectors and there some of them were run there though echo the police or the security architecture why echo hospitals na the health sector why but banks na yakra run 24 in there about digital but so people there over bank wanga no ni because nkoma na so yenibra botumi rewa na obi enye issue with the ATM card na card na come because am bi atomda am ko CCTV campus make iska ATM am card come chile the next one na mokro main office of that bank and say wo tum we yi card na wala am adasa into all these things in no say discuss na yema one way economists obi ad na dwen cheba e no man no ya bibia politics onyimpa na azne ye o but onye ono no ze be nti oso onye onyimpa na azne ye but ne yanko na all kara onye nti oso na oye
Today my free SHS no
baby
onye
stop that politics you put aside
we should think ahead.
Yes
In
and
the
national development plan yen by say on national development plan the next 10 years Ghana pray implement the 24-hour economy ontuma nse oye wakache wase na SDG go by 2027 or they eliminate poverty or they them say will be o money ma na nka manyeku so ba at least once we manifesto no we draw no
they will draw their manifesto
based on the national development plan ye wona kwame na nka yo mama ni tin but because of the yenyi binti iba aboto atum dem 24-hour economy wa obi MPP mu pa anyim do ye pa but because of politics nti we twi no ye good no say no obi nyimpa there this free SHS o ye pa but because of that onye jama na okai onye temos na okai even though JJ runs na mo constitution odi shem but onye one no be introduce him just onye and since that time we introduce free SHS on who anything positive about this free SHS because onye na ban what buy
meanwhile one man sukobi
number sukobi on anything positive about this free SHS the same thing also with them 24-hour economy
all right
but anything positive with it and this is spoiling our country say yan so waka na say enjoy this name calling politics of insult no what to jobs na azina on woman Ghana look at how Dr. Bamia was speaking like vim jodite chill power the and on this
but
one now I think that Yana heard it Shafi man was the kasa at this morning when you man me in the office oh there mam your mama John or cousin no what to ban or church him but because of that when I be na Dr. Bamia on your mama obi a pro contest or pro president nti Dr. Bamia ko krom or northern region no look at the Vima na you know the candidates 24-hour economy that's why Yana catch on your mama we nyanom they shouldn't see themselves that were enemies nti them politics of name calling what have you wonjay na one dey na oba you know Ghana oba chela nti kwa na this 24-hour economy ne wa oboboa yen a national discussion on this na yen tu efe ejuma more example one per mazemo tourism yeah oboboa bi se won ka national park e butuma ko enyibira make part of manyi musko fi ko some watch yakwa was na ye new I was 6 into amayamfo what happened but they want you put in place measures able to na and bring of about visiting national park ni na yen hwe
all right
let's go kwakwa
Osman, do we have the economy to run 24 hours?
Yes, come now. I very much interesting, and I kwekwana pay mamanda was ejuma na kastano kwekwa no, and then I very interesting coming now. I wonder me, but I like the way I got of your team now evolve no, because it's here no. The
we
politics
are
of
more discerning
of
on
course,
certain issues.
Now more politics na opposition I can't know more fanyadwen yaka party in power and the government in party in government not yet be to know yeah and support way no. I mean we get independent minded people when they come out and they break their they come out with their submissions and when they yes we are making that a real deal no and then in they say eco marketing person yeah minimum cousin come that's a policy but that's what church the way they even appreciate them no maybe some question there the so-called economists now be more professors be more work at a PhDs no one textbook understanding of Nyaman it's not probably how it works on the food though. Until people are becoming more sensible and then coming whether we like it or not. Or you cutting school them cutting any answer. I mean there are some things we want to one cassette and if you are looking for the best economist there, yeah, I'm not what's the market no. Because I'm on 20 cities. On for being years ban. Now an upon to money coming from one on phone school. And they tell you how they manage. Then you see they are the real managers of their homes, and these are the best economists. You see, 24 hours economy. What is it all about? And any courage, but is in common. And some more Kenyan 100% intellectually. Onye bibia or ye different. I've been see what we are seeing with that. There are lots of countries that will practice this or year 24-hour economy. Even in Ghana, had in certain places simple. I can find a nightlife, but because on your industries will pray to. But certain sectors of the economy, no, they are mandated there per their service hours and naturally that is how they are supposed to operate. But we are talking about a deliberate government policy here. Yes, but make sure that Ghana mano yarenda we are going to be operating 24 hours every day 24/7. There's supposed to be activities. Women yenya butero it's na Cape Coast ade memo yen kwachi. Come na some open adwuma 6 o'clock. Na some rekofia. Let's say jina yenye madness se peka kwa bra. Sometimes it take you more than 30 to 40 minutes before you bring your car. About to man to a Metro Mass Transit honom no. I want to post out the sound of Manyoko. Mekojina wa about to make for close to 15-20 minutes. In your car. It only gives you one indication there. Or as I yet dentam. Because we don't have any night business or tomorrow kodo hadi. Into even the informal sector, no, it is not running. Into in the first instance, a business district, no, we're seeing a lot of activities or tomorrow kodo hono.
Last Sunday, about 8 me put program. Na my father and I'm kotokraba. Messi
How is he?
Santeke no Messi aha say eba ha chanenim ha enufa eba you eba kada ayo. The whole place was cleared.
You understand? Into come now, very interesting. I mean, for me, meeting day as an independent person, and then in academia, I would love to research about some of these things. I think this is a game changer. Until I'm because the idea be by there. Yeah, for free SHS, we know Yamoto Mosisi and they have a damage say baby do know. I'm so much the market becoming now. Obia about criticizing the free SHS so they be the policy in its entirety or a bad no. Sabi Pocono or a yan or a befu or only more pay. I mean, you have a trend for how long? Into be progressively. Into starting for baby from Kosi baby. If you should buy no okay, I'm going to do it wholesale. On the crampon, he started from somewhere. Because what I'm quite straightforward there. Okay, my former woman you to be an example, but was that fee SHS1 for work on any form 2, form 3, then before I'll ever cover one woman you know. And that was beautiful. Even on conference that one time, once we can be able to support a progressive, but that is how sometimes actually what resources now able to na ever year. And coming, I think Doc what church the 24 economy. I wouldn't want to also rehash on those things in now. But the issue is currently maybe as a system now. I bet the hotel business or as tomorrow around the 24. Actually, transportation system now as tomorrow around the 24 hours. You know, actually, media houses now it runs on 24 hours basis because if you are there, you can offer every day. And likewise, the restaurant police restaurants no other businesses now. Elsewhere, no, it runs with Chroma company. Some of them I wouldn't want to mention any other restaurant because they're more on that mileage, you know. But in the formally, say ECG for instance, Ghana Water. The security services, no. These are government institutions and once to more run on your 24-hour system, no. But now I'm the deliberate government policy. Yes, but make sure that we are going to try as much as we can to galvanize the economy. In the comments, if we share some of the benefits, you implement this policy. Yes, what to as a nation.
Baba Osman, as we are talking about, the Butin Orica, actually the bigger economies now.
Yeah.
The demand aspect, you know, on drive. One.
Yes.
But do we have the demand? I mean, factor. If we are going into the 24-hour economy, we can meet the demand.
Coming up, very much true. You see, now come by my last point of my submission. But says I'll start from Honum. Yeah, well, Chroma Day, we introduced 1D, 1F. And coming not to sound so political, but simply your question there. 1D, 1F, no, Obi Frey, political appointee bi, political communicator bi, on bechen one industrial krom hade ya, 1D1F was aba, and now put a bia the local demands no. Yetum ya yetum na eze so yen importation of any other product biano, even a single one. Yensha 1D1F no, very good policy o.
The local demand in the company, some of them are not meeting.
You understand? It's we are producing, but we cannot produce to meet the demands of local demands, which is very much true. Internet anka 1D1F is anka nepo pomono nka yewe na ka access to policy na nka bi anka eyo no a na yakwa kofa bia one of the things maybe ye import from abrochi ezeba. Yes, okay, we are going to tackle this problem there. Within the space of 3 to 4 years, we are going to build the local capacities of young companies and industries. Now, want to one produce to feed the local demands, so that young outside the call Tony be informed, near save young who exchange earnings. It becomes very important, but that is not the case because in most of the companies they are not running on 24 hours basis, and it's not going to be the same workers now. It is going to be the if it is going to be based on shifts systems. I don't know how we are going to do it, but then be able to me and say from an opposite saying then there will be an exchange. Another batch of people would also come in to produce to meet the local demands, And talk about one not today, theoretically and then on paper, we are going to be able to produce monthly first and can produce maybe 120 and then we are going to multiply it by 2 until we call 240. So it means we are increasing productivity. And these are the things we are talking about. But then the question is, are we going to have that local demands now? And say, what to produce one now? What is going to be the cost effective of the prices? These are another issues we'll try to address. So it becomes important to say, let's say about to produce more as a local, about to be a consumer. It is okay. And even sometimes we are not even going to only look at the local demands, because the economy we are going to export because it's a foreign exchange. In Tieto Kromade, you got to export electricity to Cote d'Ivoire, it be Togo. But we talk about excess capacity. Our go as service being used. We talk about plants and count if you are producing more, let's say to me used to Nina. So what industries are, can they feed on it? But so your industry we can feed on those ones, and it becomes important. And these are the issues I think we should start interrogating. In time when I heard about this 24-hour economy, because we are going to get efficient utilization of our electricity resources now to make because in the abundance in we are also close to $1 billion now we can utilize those energies, In the baby some questions that do we have the foundations? I think that is the premise of this question. And the answer is coming out. It is yes, we have the capacity. Maybe not all of it. But the question is, if you look at security, for instance, maybe it becomes a problem because yes, the police force, yes, fire service, yes, immigration, for instance, do they have the numbers able to keep that 24 hours economy running and But if you don't have those numbers now, then it means we need to do a lot of recruitment. And by and large, it is going to increase employment opportunities. We have issues with unemployment. In there's a police force, and I'm just estimating. Maybe I know 500. Now, the whole of the Ghana police force because of 24 hours economy. We are going to need more. So it means we are going to recruit more people into the police service. That thereby going to increase the employment opportunities and opportunity. So it means we are going to keep unemployment even on that side. Into the issue of security, we can only increase the employment basis from that side. You can also look at reliable supply for your electricity, which I've talked about. We always would do that argument, exchange the total capacity we are not utilizing it. Now we are going to use all of it because we are going to have industry over to now and then they are going to use all the electricity supplies and then there be some question that the transport system which is also very important. I mean, if you are going to have an economy overrun on 24 hours basis, a typical example, Cape Coast are they by maximum 9 o'clock we virtually have a dead town. Drivers who happen to it is only a few times they be able to crab even a taxi the way but in this time round, that means you need to have an efficient system. Private people but government can even have in its own fault government taxi cabs be na buses obotum na wa run the system anytime bia na we adwuma because elsewhere that is what is happening because nipa ye adwuma naturally na ebebre nti we could make it a very salient point to be there ye won kofi bi wo honom na won anyibri po na we adwuma o because when the daytime na ba ko no normal formal job but odo anyibri na they will go onto the system and then also will try to take advantage na we tum na wa adwuma so we need a reliable transport system not just the roads no any other way no but how able to be that efficiency of it no that becomes important because in this sometimes kotakwa say poda kwa bra e me wa bo 11 o'clock kwa me say am for drop na chire da hadi into these are the things I think we also have to also look at it and then if you also look at the lack of sustainable and then legal framework and other policy guidelines to support the operations of the 24-hour economy no and one of the ideas ni nyina no ofiarba no in there is a company na say bia me need am incentives there me operate on a 24-hour basis I'm to my 8 hours abasi na government oba ya mama some kada some operate on 24 hours now musu menya that is the incentives no into no me say ex-president mama no say they are going to consider tax rebates into the companies and the industries now they are going to accept it there voluntarily they are going to be in that 24-hour system no what they will do in the so what tax it to me no obotum try obotum na obatodo was almost so that you can always try as much as you can able to na ayejuma ohonom no and then we also asked about I think they talked about the electricity tariffs no be more the option with na what it to them as with na was amon because the more ayejuma na consume energy no the more you are going to pay for it and then if you are working and then maybe no who's Kenya you to account as na if it becomes inefficient able to na ayejuma no and then nuisance taxes and then high interest rates on loans because in there say put a bank na say coaches can say by extend the work capacity look at the interest you are paying on loans. I mean, I'm going to my businesses, so I don't want to mention a company with Yadi. And the interest I want to watch are they regulators, how are they regulating those ones, Even the formal institutions never quack up loans or one channel. In terms of interest rate percentages, I hear not for 1 year, 1 to 1 year, 1 day, young coach on a so I think these are the issues if you interrogate it very well you're able to me about this 24 hours economy no you're able to about buoyant
should the business community also bring their input into this it seems the business community is quiet on this issue because they are running the economy.
Of course I think they are not quiet started there was the last time he met TUC and then probably the mother body for all those industry on your workers in no. So once you start a discourse from there then all other industry can also try they be able to me about effectiveness and what are going to what will be the policy guidelines say yes you follow able to na yes be all right and to come I think the benefit is also to na also and then whether we like it or not market this one will be a game changer maybe you'll be facing you might not be happy about it. But the fact that you already na ya start to be impono, it means what to na ya enhancing it to mean the effectiveness of it.
But in this country, Adibia has a political lens, has a it's derailing the development of this country.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
I was listening to the current secretary of NDC, Fifi Kwete. Norika, about 60 something. The country has made progress. So we should stop talking about I mean, the conversation need to change.
If you look at those conversations now, maybe certain quarters, you cannot fault them. Because obviously in the policy bar, you will try as much as you can to punch holes. And you see with the free SHS as some of the issues we talked about, we could mention that is accessibility and then the quality
Okay.
Accessibility has increased, but then the quality Let me say your question there. How is it like? And these were the issues that people talked about. I care about Professor Katie Odro, formerly of UCC. When he was also training framework about the free SHS, some of the things he talked about, all those things are come to bear. These problems are there. But the fact that the opposition all criticize, obi no can ask them into that one kofuni no, say one ask them.
So the problem has to do with putting up proper structures. The policy, it will stand on when you're firm grounds.
Basic.
Okay.
Basic. I think 24-hour economy say kada say about share nyina ya tumi abone implementer. Because benefits I as tum na odoso.
All right.
Because ya tum the unemployment situation at least it would solve it. Because in the Nkofu area school, unfortunately for us kwame was actually intimate there. Obi anko a white collar job. Them no saying interim. And so we don't want to go into this craftsmanship, those other vocational training and counters. You feel that service every one train you one walk into those arenas no. But once no was canoe. Artisans no. Now yet no come out Kofi Kinata about one just 2 nights, 100,000 Ghana. About charge by 30 years and post salary say 1 or 2,500 before you go and make that money. But then these are people who are making the money. I understand. And he said, I quite about for that productivity about to increase now. This would also be another game changer.
All right.
About to you're producing more. And then optimum utilization of our resources, especially the other resources in a company or an organization. No matter easy just some day. We are producing lights, but you use plants is so you find your shit. Yabaka was in the take or pay. Now, obit in the machine was you are supposed to give that person the guarantee there. A quality of the benefit is saying, you need to pay something to machines. No, so we should make sure that obey Juma. Now, your license they produce. And there are some companies who come out there and no Yajumo Valco Tama. First, I think was see a Kosombo, and then one note to consume a lot of the power in Ninjano. And it is virtually redundant because power energy over here, no, it is not forthcoming. If you are going to try as much as we can and able to utilize in then we can get that system to run and then come in your bottom now. All right, let's support this idea. Remember, for political lenses, no,
interrogate more. Now, you would input of it.
Interestingly, when you listen to some of the communicators now, this system is already in place, but we can only enhance it. That is why it becomes a deliberate government policy.
Okay.
Into saying yes, yes, so even if Obino was a buy, if you can also try to implement her, able to and I remember prior to 2020 elections, you know, when your mama was campaigning on there about to legalize Okada for one business, you know, I don't know what try one pa. But out of the blues, you know, not them now. We to mama develop for the one to one start today. Uncle phone no man over to now one formal registrations, you know. No to was that that is how we try to build a country. Mammy and Tony and Caribbean problem mama about to answer you to yourself. But we should be forthright today. We should have that vision there. As in say proactiveness, you know. About to know going to come. I think this policy what some year now. All
right, it's Osman and Nanaku on the discussion table. Yakahumanodo. We are picking some calls. Once we are doing only then 0244 408046 0244 408354. Yanyamusu input ewo home. Asankam.
Yeah, we're here. You Asanka. Aquarium organizer. Ambassador 1.
Aquarium went to
welcome to them.
Yamiadum, Yahuipa.
And a payment check with Kanye Osman. Ya, Wakasa Mayajipa. Now, so I can't pay for a come up here, Macafon. Mother Family. Ema yepe ifuna ho kabibia aho obuchebia aho anasidu na ahinu say
okay
eya mutu meka bibi ebi wo ma ono ya abana adwuma our pension obi kitani sanu adwuma ono onye pension bia fine nti wonye pension bia na sra show wonye sike bia nto ode botwe no a na ahwe import dem na abade no I mean na mpanyifo no obotai nti ya so ahim mpanyifo no ahim atimemfo so ono oba mazen anso ye bibi ode faye ho a anso akire bi na se nyi pension a anso ehu ode maade no okodo akwere ma adwen chaye medase
maso medase asankam
hey papa moya wasanka something ba omia pray we see abra sem kwa manka solution AAK information minister ba ko pe she asankam ye festival be the whole Ghana Cape Coast Kastle 90.3 fufu ho ukunte enkwa ya de inala ope ho papa en ma pende da mama nenu ma pa enso okai na ya dada nenu ma papa ewadi agufo o nto ba no yin na ma no ye nenu ma pa onko mlebio onbebio so medase
maso medase asankamo
monya anyi wasanka eja tele makase fied na kwamana
eja ta mpocha wodi na o ID card dey abeze
my ID card na
wodi na wodo
mala anja asankam no menya kwara mamba nti t-shirt na o masema da me bia mam
ayo eja ta yanko
na enyima enwo kasa owura abotu akasa na pe ya se meja kwamna se dem kase ye ho so odu bunada na se dem kase edibaye yen no fa adwuma na me na am kato na fa adwuma begina
Mesmo wa abotika sa na pay enwa. Mrs. say what you next week ko say edidam mesma papa di kase adi ye na faligna ma hena ye na todmo no beja. Aso me askasa me pera makacha wa na pay an there. Papa no mesmo si kase. That's what kase politics nyimo. Okasa to the fact, okasa to the issue. One for politics be ambam. It is enough for it may say bedu ababa beton on think the well-being of the MPP party. No man will think about Ghana enough for it mana. Masa enough for the Begina, Kakama kind, and your maid man and
Kawaso with us. Asankum.
Moya, you was Sanka, never be near the so.
Right, Cobra, me too. And when
not a brass and come answer, Necro. But that's it. Oh, former president. I work assembia, or car assembia, and I work here as someone. There, ma, Katana, all a canoe, all into me, Mr. President, share. My young coupon wish I won't, no wish I won't. Numum, in Yama, I want some wish you will be. I want some not to be you are, or your papa. Aye, President, former president, or Baba the president to build my young wife, you may have taught cement 20 Ghana, if you. But that's saying, you.
Yabenko, Asankum.
Moya, you was Sankam, better coming. Good morning.
Good morning. Nana,
you're welcome for an effort to win, Medasi.
It's how we really be that.
And your Basmadu was Mambaji,
Brabaji, Yanko.
I see, Wakonia Menu. Mamina Bra, several Kamanga Cemetery on a book for Ukraine, a businessman club camp, how do I get I don't know to money on many people, and more oil want to empty, want to my queen, young queen, I don't know what to be brave. Oh, yeah, former president, Mamma sister, I walk on a Kasakasa because of oh, yeah, I'm not 24 hours of economic energy. Oh, yeah, the man some nana, the mission on all that do.
Okay.
All that, the man some put on your penny tea. Now, oh, yeah, Before seminar, Kankana for Nana, Mobby there, why you that do? Ninja Mercy. Now, you're more pension 2024. Oh, yeah, Dr. Mamma, Bobby 18, Medasi.
Maso, Medasi, Bebre. Asankamo, Asankum.
Asanka. Asanka.
Why am I sakini?
Yeah, Evangelist Kudian.
Okay. Now, I bet you t-shirt now.
You know, you know the
okay.
I'm watching there. And many women, politics are not going to do. I will mean facts. That's a human.
Okay.
Watching there, I mean, politics. But I don't know what to do. Yet, no, a president, Akufadu, who did have simple look at that. But we may know, but we know your coupon did a senior saying, you know, Shilling, like you and then the coupon did a Shilling, if you enemy here. It's about no to mayor president. That did that, we're going to hold to mayor president.
All right.
That be unqualified for president. Man, at all.
Maso Medasi Bebre. Asankamo, Asankum.
No Asanka na ebabaso.
Mr. Wanda Misakani.
For some of the Charles and Free Tabazi.
Who's in our awful name or ID card with the Abazi?
Charles Ankuma.
Charles Ankuma, okay.
Not the woman made my papa, or bird my papa. Now, Mubon and Naku crying now, Osman so about the papa because the seminar Canada, the 2 government paying the canal, maintain that direct and I do ye. What's happening there? Vice President, let's see, or what that? Oh, how do I share hospital? We're going to emergency cases and wash you. And a friend to include a lab, what was the lab technicians we now are pumping. They said 24 hours, but no being run of electricity. Just there, we produce right into any business be our date night. The same as water, into business be our. And this is another main about our victim canal, about more unemployment, no so to now walk with him. More segment, so the come, limit my career, damn. He said that's it, but today I feel it's working. As if an adult can also tune to him, I didn't be at the Bob decision while queen. The man he on to me, the agent boy, consider seem to be a woman on a cabin and use some margin to be one, a friend one out, one from what.
All right.
No, you know, what the normal.
All right. Asankamo, Asankum.
Yeah, Asanka.
Yo, Mr. Wanda Misakani.
Let's go, one couple of preview, Daddy.
Mensa me too.
I will come out of the Minta Nabo, Barbara, and I MPP.
Mensa, you pray name na domino doso. Aye.
Okay. Mrs. Ghana, that will not true. Mama, Ghana, you have to two for a rubber for my Sister Ghana, we are moving forward. We are not coming back again. Okuma turn us backward ever, forward ever. Mama, don't pay the door for me.
All right.
Now, I'm a 8 years, no more breaking 8. I'm from my MPP for MPs for what I don't know.
Okay. Let us see. Asankum.
Moi here, no was kind of wow, but you are.
Okay. I'm a second.
Younger baby, and look at me.
Come this man, or can say, come this man.
Young baby. And I go one, if you are your pocket postman. There are 24-hour economy now, or your mamma, can enjoy the papa. No one Ghana and Casaria, the politics. They are saying, I'm a pea. Them one got a watch on what can. And you can open out in a way, your man. Ghana and Casar Bidia by piano with the politics. And then the meaning of power ways. Nobody in the Madden, young pop, 1 month by it. And to send them 19, he said, the 24-hour economy. And Chawama, many years and I've been the other bois.
Okay.
And some did obey you, pa.
All right. Now, we don't know why the card today, have it?
Young
Ebenezer. All right. Okay. I better make a okay. That's it. All right. Every centi was about to na frey or a brick a crack or your name. You can also call na album 0244 408 046 0244 408